All right, everyone. It's been a while. Brandon Therapeutic Fragrance. Oud review today, not a fragrance review. Keep that in mind. New house. Got a new house. Agar Aromas. Quote from Tony Bolton, owner, distiller of the company. He said, be as rough as you want. He just wants exposure. As far as my oud oils, I just want to give exposure. Top of the video actually provided to me these samples. This is just, you oud guys know how hard it is to find information for oud lovers of another vendor out there. I really don't score ouds. I take you through a sensory chart. I think that's what we're going to call it, and kind of give you profiles of the oud oil to get a sense of what you like. It's so hard to, even by region. This is Vietnamese, mixed region, and this one's all over the place in a good way. That's what this channel's about. It's just to give you a chart, education to buy off of. The ouds go so quick that by the time everybody's ranting and raving and it's so good out there, they're gone. We're off to our next distillation. So I'm here learning with everyone else, trying to push the oud oil, this love of mine, this passion of mine forward. I'm in the middle of something crazy. If you follow my last video, hot weather uses for oud, something has come out of that video even deeper than that. That video was unexpected, and something else is coming out even more unexpected. I'm not going to say anything till the end of summer, and I'll finish good, bad, whatever the finish of the study is. I'll say my results, but 20 years of something, and oud is doing something for me nothing else has. So look forward to that in September. Like I said, good, bad, I'll do the full report. I just want to make sure it's all done, so there's kind of a concise report out there. Anyways, let's move on. Agar Aromas Royal Mekong Reserve. Still open his site. I tried to pick one. He gave me quite a few things from his thing. I don't know if he's really used to how I do reviews. I like to focus on oil, do a sensory chart over it, especially good ones like this, and get on with it. So let's get into this. The liquid Agar Aromas Royal Mekong Reserve. I'm going to apply it here. See the viscosity there? Kind of. A little thicker than honey on that. Get that dabber good. I'm going to go in again, roll it up, get the dabber good. And then get both wrists nice, and I just barely dab. Put little in the beard. There we go. Nice application. I've been doing that more than the neck lately, just to get the full scent. Because when I go out and sweat, it's literally off in 4 hours. So I get more of the oud that way. Just that aromatic right there. Probably last 6 hours there, off my wrist in 4 hours. If I do any cycling, anything with sweat involved. So you saw the color. It just showed the color of the oil, darker than a honey. Viscosity is thicker than a honey. Use honey because it's most common, one of the most common things. Honeys and syrups I like to use, and blood I've used. Just common things the whole world knows about. That's why I use those. His distillation notes he gave me, he does lightly soak, uses very low heat, copper pot distillation. That's what he's passed on to me, pass it on to you. I didn't ask per oil. That's kind of an overview of what he gave. So take that with a grain of salt. If I did say anything wrong from that, I'm pretty sure I got it right. It'll be up in the notes about me. The notes from his site is this is a variation of different Vietnamese ouds, mixed. It's probably the royal name. I think most distillers use that. I think I've seen royal, sultans, whatnot, and they mix different regions. So this is a mix of Vietnamese ouds, Agarwood. I believe it was distilled in 2018, 2019, not said. Age of the Wood's not said. I personally like that stuff. Usually if it's not there, it's not a selling point. So, and there's no way to tell. I'm sure you just buy it from a harvester and they don't know when. So it's hard to verify that. Out of the bottle and the top of this, when you apply it on skin, even right now, is a sweet. You get the sweet part of this, not overly Thai sweet at all. Honeyish sweetness, not full on sugar of the honey. The darker, think if honey was condensed and kind of burnt off, kind of the richer notes of honey. That honey was from flowers. The bees picked it from flowers. And you get a little bit of floral notes off the top on this oud. You can tell right away underneath this thing that there is a lot going on. There is just, this is, and I'll say at the end too, definitely not a beginner's oud. If you've worn many ouds and are familiar with this, this has a lot of variations going on in it. That lasts for about 30 minutes. It turns into a very good, having a heavenly medicinal note that is aquatic also. Just a nice wet, almost wet soilish, wet forest, not heavy woods, but that sort of water. I don't want to say swamp, but fresh, wet barn is there. In the background, so two different layers, not together, is that barnyard smell. Think of it, barely any animals at all in the barn. Lots of hay, old and new hay, old barn. Just that kind of smell brings me back to stables when I was a kid. Always happy memories. I get off of the background of this, just laying underneath it. The medicinal flavor is there. Strong, very strong. Projection is, it's going to give you 2 feet of projection. People are going to smell this one on you. They're not going to know what it is. Oud lovers, this is the stuff we crave. This nice, just scent that goes straight to the head. The funk, no fecal in it at all, but just a nice, the smell people don't know how to describe. They call it Band-Aids, they call it plastic, they call it industrial, all those names. I call it medicinal. And because you go smell those plastics, they end up giving you headaches and just, they're nauseating. You smell this and it just does something to the body. You just, it's your body responds to it like, hey, this is good stuff. Your body's telling you it's good stuff from nature. If you apply it to the beard, like I showed you, you're going to pick up both of those scents. If you apply it to wrists, like I found myself doing a lot when I write and whatnot, that way you get 2 actually different smells with a lot of ouds. It's a trick I've learned. The sillage on this is the more aquatic, fresh, pleasing. And then when you want that funk, you just put the wrist up to your nose and you get it. That's how this oud is. Where you applied it is, when you put your nose to where you applied it, definitely a lot stronger, more funky, with the sillage being this aquatic hay top that fades into the heart. That's about 2 to 3 hours of the wearing. This is a stronger oud. I know it's pure oil, 100% pure oil. I did ask, and oud lovers, that's what we all ouds are supposed to be 100% oil, not cut with anything. But think of this like as an extrait. It's not. It is pure oil, but it's stronger than other ouds you apply. Definitely Vietnamese in character. As we move to that 2.5, 3 hours, the aquatic totally moves off. I don't pick that up anymore. A lot more funk moves in, and I'm loving it. That fades into the rest of the heart for another 30, 45 hour into it before we go to our dry down. The dry down goes to a worn leather with a rubber edge. Some earthy, dry resins in the form of osmanthus without any sweetness going on. A little more earthiness, but just that airy quality of an osmanthus, of the resins that provide that that airness to them. That's the dry down. The funk is 100% gone for me on my skin. It just goes into this worn leather, the rubber, and that airy resinous quality to it in the full dry down for me. I mean, until it fades out another hour or two, as long as I'm not sweating. If I'm, like I said at the top of it, if I sweat, this fades into my body like nobody's business. I can definitely, without sweat, high heat, get 7 to 8 hours out of it. High sweat, like most ouds, within 4 hours, it's gone. Take that with a grain of salt. When I do sweat, I'm mostly getting high heat, you guys. I mostly just get that full-on leather with just a bit of sweetness that was on the top that mixes in the whole time during the wearing. So the sensory notes, I'm still working this out. It's too long for me now, but bear with me as we do on the channel. But again, gives you an idea of what you're going to pick up when you have this oud. If you like these notes or not, if they're not ones you're drawn to, stay away. Oud's expensive. That's why I do it. Sweetness, 2 out of 5. Gourmand, 1 out of 5. Animalic, 2 out of 5. Earthy, 3 out of 5. Tobacco, 1 out of 5. Florals, 2 out of 5. Aquatic, a 4 out of 5. Spices, a 2 out of 5. Resins, 3 out of 5. Smoke, 1 out of 5. Woods, a 2 out of 5. Leather, 4 out of 5. Metallic, 1 out of 5. Incense, 1 out of 5. Medicinal qualities, explain that in this video, 4 out of 5. Addictiveness overall, 7 out of 10. Very good oud. Projection and sillage, 8 out of 10. People are going to smell this one on you. This is definitely the level of oud for this, definitely an intermediate, leaning towards advanced use of oud. There is a lot going on in this oil. You can tell there's other flavors, just a lot going on in the oil itself. Not for beginners. Overall experience, a 7 out of 10. In my collection, I definitely seek out a gram of this at least to have to wear. Most of these notes are right up my alley. I am always drawn to ones that have the aquatic and give funk. If you see my videos, so it does that. I've smelled quite a bit from him, and this is the one I was drawn to first. We'll definitely get more on the channel from Agar Aromas. We got a new person here in the community. What I can tell, I'm behind him 100%. All the research I've done, good stuff. I've seen some people on Instagram with him, good stuff. So Tony, to you and your wife, kudos from Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington, and keep up the good work. We're all learning together on this oud journey. So glad you're checking it out. Glad you're learning about oud with me. I'm here to learn too. Anyways, everyone, peace out and be blessed.